Rim Country News brought to you by Christine Croak, your Rim Country real estate expert. On this finally Friday, October 23rd, for Tonto TV, K-Rim Radio News, and Global Trails Media, I'm Randy Roberson with your Rim Country News headlines. Well, there's more to the story of that high-speed chase that ended in a traffic accident on 87 and 260 this past Wednesday. First of all, on Wednesday, shortly after 10 a.m., the Payson Police Chief Ron Tischer says they overheard a radio transmission by a Department of Public Safety officer that said he was in pursuit of a vehicle northbound on Highway 87 at about mile marker 240. That officer said they were reaching speeds of 117 miles per hour. The suspect vehicle he was pursuing was a yellow Suzuki Aereo with Oregon license plates. That DPS officer advised he broke off the pursuit as the vehicle approached Payson. Officers attempted to deploy stop strips to puncture the tires of the fleeing vehicle at the south edge of town at the intersection of 87 and BIA 101. That's the entrance to the casino. That attempt was unsuccessful as the car drove off the roadway and into oncoming traffic to avoid the stop strips. Chief Tischer says that due to the driver of the vehicle showing complete disregard for the safety of others, Payson PD and sheriff's deputies re-engaged the pursuit northbound on 87. Tischer says at one point, one of the occupants of the suspect vehicle actually threw a catalytic converter out the back window of the suspect car directly at pursuing law enforcement officers. At 10:21, the suspect vehicle crashed into a pickup truck at the intersection of 87 and 260. Tischer says the pickup truck was going through the intersection on a green light when the suspect vehicle ran a red light and directly into the truck. PD says the operator and a passenger in the truck were not seriously injured but did receive precautionary medical treatment. The occupants of the suspect vehicle were identified as 33-year-old Reina Blia of New Mexico, a female, 23-year-old Cesar Enriquez Navarrex, 22-year-old Jesus Ortiz Avitia, and the driver, 21-year-old Jason Vivier, all from New Mexico. Detectives are currently following up on unconfirmed leads that the vehicle may have been carjacked at knife point in New Mexico. An initial search of the vehicle turned up drug paraphernalia and a handgun, which Jesus Ortiz Avitia had in his hand as he exited the vehicle after the crash. Avitia threw the gun back into the car, according to police, when he saw officers. Also found was a handgun magazine with one spent shell casing. Well, the story gets even more interesting, as it seems this may not have been the first time local law enforcement were in contact with this group. Chief Tischer says upon the initial investigation, it was determined that one or more of these suspects was in Payson Monday evening and was involved in yet another pursuit with Payson police. They say on Monday a vehicle was speeding through town at 70 miles per hour when police attempted a traffic stop, at which time the driver turned off the vehicle's lights and accelerated northbound on 87. Well, that vehicle crashed north of town near the intersection of Highway 87 and the Crackerjack Mine Road. And by the time police arrived on the scene, the occupants had fled on foot. A 9mm handgun and shell casings were found in that vehicle. But wait, there's more. On Tuesday, shortly before 5 o'clock in the morning, Payson PD was dispatched to the Speedway gas station on South Beeline, and that response was because of an armed carjacking. No one was injured in the carjacking, and that vehicle was later located abandoned near Fountain Hills. Chief Tischer says through the investigations, it has been determined that all three incidents may be related. Well, after Wednesday's accident, the suspects have finally been jailed and are facing numerous charges, including possession of narcotic drugs, armed robbery, kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, theft of a means of transportation, unlawful flight from law enforcement, and numerous warrants out of New Mexico. Chief Tischer says this case will involve lengthy and open investigations. Well, taking a look at other news, the Habanero Fire in Southern Gila County started on Wednesday, about 15 miles southwest of Globe in the Dripping Springs area. Now, the fire was mapped at 600 acres as of Wednesday night, but due to high overnight fire activity, that blaze, at last report, has now grown to 2,400 acres. Officials say the fire is burning through heavy grass and chaparral and is being driven by the wind, dry vegetation, and steep terrain. The wind is pushing the fire to the east through the east to the northeast, and the diurnal winds will cause growth to the south and southeast following terrain. The fire was very active overnight on two flanks, and as of the morning, pockets continued to actively burn. Firefighters are working actively on the northwest and east sides of the fire to slow growth and are utilizing natural barriers and roads to help with containment efforts. The fire is in close proximity to communication towers, a mine, high-voltage power lines, and a ranch property with multiple structures. Ground crews, along with aircraft, are providing structure protection to those values at risk. Aircraft, including air attack, helicopters, and tankers, will continue to be used to help slow the fire's movement. Additional ground resources are also on order. And speaking of the forests around us, Tonto National Forest officials are reinstating the original bushfire closure area that's south of Payson, and it's being done to protect the public from an incoming weather system that they think has the potential for flash flooding over the coming weekend. Well, this expanded area public safety closure order will go into effect tomorrow at noon. Officials say, quote, a post-fire flash flooding event has the potential to cause significant injury or death. The purpose of the closure order is to protect public health and safety, and officials say this order will remain in effect until March 15, 2021, or until rescinded, whichever occurs first. Well, and that weather system headed our way may indeed bring cooler and wetter conditions all over Rim Country. We have a complete report on your 7-day forecast coming up next. You're watching Rim Country News.
The past 7 months have been difficult on all of us. Our circumstances demanded immediate change that impacted our entire community.
Distance learning has been really challenging, but I'm so thankful for my parents and teachers working so hard to help us.
Thank you, teachers, for continuing to do all that you have to support and encourage our children to move forward in this difficult time.
Parents and families, we understand how difficult this time has been for both you and your students, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
After all this time, we are so excited for our children to reconnect with their amazing teachers and their friends.
We are a community of resilience, and we're coming back stronger than we have ever been.
Being a Longhorn represents pride, courage, unity, and the ability to overcome anything as a family.
We want to thank our schools and parents for working so hard to continue our education. We are so grateful to finally be back together.
Well, taking a look now at Rim Country weather, above normal temperatures and increasing southwest winds are expected today and Saturday, with conditions cooling further and turning very windy on Sunday. A strong cold front will bring a sharp drop in temperatures for Monday and Tuesday, along with areas of rain and high elevation snow showers. Some brief snow accumulation may develop Monday through Tuesday above 6,000 feet. A hard freeze is likely over many locations above 5,000 feet for Monday and Tuesday nights. Daytime highs here in Payson today should be right around a mild 78 degrees. Clouds and showers will begin to move in Sunday and Sunday night through Tuesday, and we have some very good chances for precipitation. Much of that will come in the form of rain here in Payson, But with overnight lows expected to be hitting the freezing mark here on Monday night, that chance for rain will turn to a chance for snow Monday night and Tuesday morning. Once the storm moves out on Wednesday, it'll leave behind sunny skies and a high for Payson in the mid-60s. Up on top of the rim, they're expecting a high today near 69 degrees, with those highs dropping into the low 40s early next week. As much of the precipitation up there, by the way, is expected to be in the form of snow. Our neighbors to the south in Tonto Basin, you can expect a high today near 89 degrees. Your highs will drop into the 60s by early next week. And wherever you are in Rim Country, it looks like we have a pretty good 70% chance for rain early next week. So maybe, just maybe, we can finally put this year's crazy wildfire season to bed. And that's what's happening around Rim Country. For Tonto TV, K-Rim Radio News, and Global Trails Media, I'm Randy Roberson. Make it a great Friday.